Never tell anyone outside the family what you're thinking. Isn't just the mantra of Don Corleone, it's also Bill Belichick's MO. But he did make a rare public statement about speed.
The thing that, I would notice the most is just the speed, the team speed that the Falcons have. They have a lot of fast guys. They look like they're faster than almost every team they play.
Yeah, they're pretty fast. The Patriots defense is #1 in fewest points allowed, while the Falcons offense is #1 in scoring. Max, something's got to give. Who has the edge?
Well, first, let me say that Sonny did make a big mistake when he said that in front of Salazzo, because that led to the assassination attempt by, as it turned out, Barzini. It wasn't until that day that he realized it was Barzini all along. So
Classic.
Make a very good point.
Yes, learning lesson.
The answer is the Atlanta Falcons offense has put a greater distance between themselves and the rest of the pack than the Patriots defense has between the Patriots defense and the rest of the pack. But you got to look deeper into it, because then the equation becomes take the Atlanta offense minus the Patriots defense. What's that? And then compare it to the Patriots offense minus the Atlanta defense. What's that? That is greater than the first. In other words, the Patriots have a bigger advantage, their offense to Atlanta's defense, than Atlanta does their offense to the Patriots defense. And Stephen A., I think that is a big reason why the Patriots are slight favorites in the Super Bowl.
You lost me on that one, but I'll try to get back to it. Here's the deal. Atlanta's offense is high-powered. But does youth, despite speed, gifts, athleticism, does those abilities usurp experience? See, this is the Super Bowl. This is the biggest stage in sports in this nation. And I see Taylor Gabriels of the world. I ain't worried about no Julio Jones now. I know he's going to be there. But I'm thinking about a Mohamed Sanu. I'm thinking about a Gabriel. I know, that Freeman and Coleman are no joke, and they're expected to be lethal. I get all of that. Matt Ryan, we know what he can do, but up until these 2 playoff games against Seattle and ultimately against Green Bay, he was 1-4 in postseason competition. I keep bringing that up because now you're on the biggest stage and you're going up against a team in the New England Patriots that are tried and tested. And by the way, everybody's walking around like the New England Patriots defense stunk up the joint. They were #1 in points allowed. They were #8 in yards allowed. They were top 3 against the run.
Yeah, they had a great defense.
And they're a damn good defense. Then we've got a Malcolm Butler. We know he's been to the Super Bowl before. We've got a Logan Ryan, who's really elevating his stock as a big-time corner in this game. We've got guys like a Ninkovich, a Hightower, and others. They've been around the block before, and they know what it takes. And so for me, when I think about that, Max, and I couple it with what I expect to get from Brady with Edelman and Martellus Bennett and Chris Hogan and the crew, you're talking ball control. Herm Edwards came on the show, my radio show with me yesterday, Stephen A. Smith Show, ESPN Radio now, 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern Time, every weekday afternoon. Here's the deal. Herm Edwards comes on and he talks about how Tom Brady threw so many passes, 5 yards, 6 yards or less. This is a guy, they're about ball control, getting rid of the football, et cetera, moving those chains. I'm wondering if that's not going to disrupt Atlanta's offense. So as high-powered they are from a talent perspective, I actually would give the edge to New England right now.
Well, also, if you switched rosters, kept the coaches, or switched coaches, kept the rosters, all of a sudden you'd like the Falcons over the Patriots. It's really Bill Belichick, especially when you give him 2 weeks to prepare. Your offense is going to look better than it actually is. So will your defense. It will negate what the other team is doing. You think about the Patriots, what their offense did. We're talking about their defense, and it's been excellent comparing it to Atlanta's offense. But and by the way, the Patriots didn't give up much in consecutive playoff games to the Texans or the Steelers. But think about what their offense did. Brady doesn't look so good. Look at this Texans defense. He hung over 30 points on them, and then did it again to the Steelers, and their defense had been improving until they ran into Belichick. So a lot of that, even the way the offense or the defense performs, is Belichick. And partly that's because you talk about ball control, Stephen A., with the Patriots offense. But, in fact, the Patriots are never the same team week to week. It's as though they can completely reinvent themselves depending on who they're playing. So if they need to slow down the pace against the Falcons, that's exactly what Belichick is going to do. And that's the reason, above all, why the Patriots are favored in the game.
Well, you could say that, too, and I appreciate you agreeing with me. Thank you very much. But here's the deal. Quinn cannot be underestimated because as defensive coordinator in Seattle and now in Atlanta, he's beaten Peyton Manning in the Super Bowl. He should have beat Tom Brady if it were not for the worst call in Super Bowl history, not giving Marshawn Lynch the ball at the half-yard line and elected to throw it instead. Then he's beaten Russell Wilson, turned around and beat Russell Wilson now, and then he beat Aaron Rodgers. Quinn is no joke. He knows what he's doing. But the other side to all of that is this. You've got McCourty, all right, and Patrick Chung as those safeties. These guys have been around too. And so I'm just looking at it from that perspective, and I'm just saying I expect the game to be tight. If the game is going to be tight, palms get sweaty at that moment. Who you betting on?
If it's a blowout,
and that's what we got to think about.
If it's a blowout, and it sounds ridiculous. And
Right.
by the way, that's another reason you like the Patriots here is because it's hard to imagine the Falcons blowing them out. If it is a blowout, it does feel like it'd be the Falcons up. And since that's hard
what
to
Ryan
imagine,
Clark
you
said
imagine
here the
it's
other
tight.
day.
What's that?
That's what Ryan Clark said here the other day. If it's a blowout, the only way it's going to be is if the Falcons are up, which seems hard to believe, but at the same time, that offense.
Wouldn't that be something?
We shall see, gentlemen. We leave it there. We're staying with football, though. Coming up, Peyton Manning is going to speak at a Republican retreat event next week in Philly. So why is the reaction to this news so different from the way the public looks at Tom Brady for supporting Donald Trump? We discuss that next. Also, LeBron James is calling out for a roster change in the land.